Let me save you years of frustration. If you're a busy man, you've got a job, you've got kids, maybe you've got a wife, you've got responsibilities, and you're trying to get lean, it's not that you're not training hard, it's not that you're not trying to look after your diet, it's not that you're not putting the effort in. The issue is that you're trying to follow a plan that's built specifically for a lad in their early 20s. No responsibilities, no misses, they just need to focus on themselves and earning some money. You're trying to run the fitness routine of a lad in their early 20s for a grown man with responsibilities, and that's never going to work in the long term. So in this video, I'm going to give you the easiest way to lose fat and get lean as a busy man without living in the gym or obsessing over food. Now, most grown men who are trying to lose fat, they do one of two things. They either go all in for a few weeks, loads of cardio, incredibly regimented, loads of sacrifice. They're not going out for any socials, they're not going out for any meals, not having any drinks, they're not doing anything nice with their friends. They're just living like a robot for a few weeks, and that's not sustainable in the long term. So yes, you do it for the first few weeks, you see some results, you lose some body fat, but you get to a point where you're thinking, is this worth it? And you know that it's not sustainable, so you revert back to how you were before. Option two, you half-arse it. So you train here and there, you've not really got a plan, you don't train on certain days, you don't really do any meal prep, you just eat what's convenient, you try to look after your food a little bit, but you're not really putting any major effort in. And the thing is, out of those two options, none of them work. None of them will work for you. And this is why. Fat loss doesn't rely on intensity in short bursts. Fat loss, getting down to being lean, is a game of consistency. So if you've got a plan that lacks structure and it's not built to fit around your life, it's never going to work for you. So the easiest way, in a nutshell, for a busy man to lose fat and get lean and actually stay that way is to lower the complexity of your plan and increase the consistency. And by doing that, it's going to be a lot easier for you to stick to the process. It's going to be much more sustainable. It's going to grant you better results in the long run. You can actually keep. So here's what that looks like. With your training, you want to be lifting 2 to 5 times a week. Now, I'm aware that time is going to be a little bit of an issue. If you can only train 2 times per week, that's absolutely fine. But you just need to make sure that with your training sessions, you are sticking to basic compound lifts, so lifts that are going to hit multiple muscle groups at once to make your sessions time efficient. You need to stick to a training program, so you do the same lifts on repeat every single session, and you aim to work the weight up, do more reps, or improve your form. That's progressive overload, which is going to indicate that you're actually building some muscle. You need to be tracking your lifts meticulously, so every single session, you need to know what you lifted in the last session. Obviously, you need to head into that session trying to beat that lift so that you can progress, so that you can move forward with your physique. And these sessions must be non-negotiable. So if you're looking at your schedule and you're thinking, oh, I can definitely do 2, but maybe 3, build a training program for 2 sessions and then just add on a third one that's an optional one. But with the frequency of the training, 2 or 3 sessions regimented every single week is going to beat 5 or 6 ones that are random and chaotic and you're just doing things willy-nilly. So you want to put a plan in place that you know you can stick to under any circumstance. So if that's 2 training sessions, that's absolutely fine. If you're busy, the goal is efficiency, not to completely annihilate your body over the course of a week. Set a daily step target. This is the most underrated part of fat loss. Steps are so effective. Reason being, they're not going to affect hunger, they're incredibly low impact, so they're not going to affect your training, they're not really going to affect your energy levels. It's easy calories burned, and you do steps during the day anyway, so add in a little 30-minute walk or maybe 2 30-minute walks into your day. It's going to allow you to burn some calories with no real downsides. Some tips just to help you get some steps in from what you're already doing. Walk when you're on the phone. If you go to work, you drive to work, park as far away from work as you possibly can. If you get the tram or the train to work, maybe get off a stop before and walk to work. Do whatever you can to get steps in whenever you can. Like, make really good use of your time to help you burn more calories and to help you sit in a little bit larger of a deficit. And by doing that and implementing those habits, those little tricks, it's going to serve you really well in the long run because it's going to allow you to burn more calories and lose more weight. Simple, sustainable, and effective. Most men genuinely would get quite lean if they hit their steps every single day without missing a beat. Next up, with the food, so have protein with every meal. Let protein be the base of every single meal. So make sure that you're getting 30 to 50 grams of protein in every meal from 3 to 5 meals throughout the day. If you're a man, you want to be aiming for 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. If you weigh 200 pounds, 200 grams of protein. If you weigh 150 pounds, 150 grams of protein. In terms of food choices, go for lean cuts of meat, especially if you're trying to lose weight. You want to keep fats relatively low, so anywhere around 40 grams is where you should be at as a minimum. But in terms of protein sources, chicken, lean beef mince, lean turkey mince, white fish is great, tuna is great. Stick to those foods, make those foods the basis of all of your meals, and then you're not going to be missing a beat with your protein, which means that you're going to feel fuller throughout the day because protein is incredibly satiating. You're also going to optimize your recovery, as protein is the foundation for any transformation. So to keep your recovery in a good spot from the nutrition side, make sure that you're hitting your protein goal. Genuinely, if you nail protein alone, you are ahead of 90% of people, because so many people don't hit their protein goals, and I can't understand why. If you need to, this is a last ditch attempt, have some protein shakes. If you get to the end of the day and you need 80 grams of protein, have a couple of shakes. One thing I preach with the team, my team, FWM Coaching, is to get your protein in at all costs. Next up, weekends. Now this is where most busy men lose the battle. Spending time with your kid, maybe going down to the pub for some bevies with the fellas. You need to be disciplined on the weekends. Even if you are good Monday to Friday, you are bang on the money. If you're off Saturday and Sunday, or even just Saturday, and you go out for a massive session, you're going to undo all of your hard work in a week, and it's incredibly frustrating. So to control your weekends, if you do want to go out some food, or you want to go out some drinks, and you still want to progress with your fat loss goal, make sure that you are banking calories. So to bank calories, if you're going out for a meal, what I'd always suggest is to figure out what you're having before you actually go, calculate a rough figure of the calories, and then you bank those calories. So in the 2 to 4 days leading up to that event, you reduce your calories by 200 to 400, and then you essentially create a little bank of calories that you can spend on that meal, which means that you can go and enjoy the meal, you can still stay in the deficit that you're supposed to be in, which means that you can have that little bit of balance, you can enjoy the meal, you can still progress with your fitness goals. A lot of people tend to think with fat loss that you need to avoid a social life, and that's not the case. You just need to plan and you need to prepare in advance to ensure that you can manage these periods in a way that allows you to enjoy them, still move forward, so you get the best of both worlds. So some tips are to have a protein focused meal before you go out to keep you full. If you are going to go out with some drinks, it would be to cap drinks at a number, so you're not going way over. And then it would be the day after, if you do feel a little bit rough, maybe a little bit hungover, don't go off track with your food, and don't turn that one day off into 2 or potentially 3 days with a binge, because then you are going to undo all of your work that you've done in the week and a little bit more. I cannot stress this enough. Sleep like it matters. If you are getting less than 7 hours of sleep per night, you are going to massively hold yourself back in terms of the fat loss. Now, reason being, recovery will tank, your hunger hormones will be all over the place. So if you sleep less than 7 hours a night, you're going to wake up the day after, you are going to feel hungrier. It's going to be harder for you to feel satisfied from the food that you take on board. So sleep like you mean it. Make sure that getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, quality sleep, is a priority of yours, and make sure that you get that done, because I can guarantee if you're currently undersleeping and you go to sleeping 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night, you're going to feel loads better. You're going to be in a better mood. You're going to be more energized. You're going to enjoy your training a little bit more because you'll be able to train a little bit harder, which in turn means you're going to see better results from what you're doing. So sleep like it matters, because it does. Now, here's a harsh truth about fat loss that doesn't really get spoken a lot. Now, if you want to lose fat and you actually want to stay there, you need to shift your identity. There's a reason that you aren't currently lean, and there's a reason that you struggle to lose weight, and there's a reason that you're overweight. It's because the habits that you've got and the habits that you live with day to day are causing you to stay that way. So if you want to lose fat and you want to get lean, you need to shift your identity. You need to form some new habits. You need to replace some bad habits with good habits. And that's going to be the thing that allows you to actually lose the weight, but stay that way. You need to become the kind of man who trains even when you're busy. You do your steps when you can't be bothered. You do your cardio when you're tired. You need to be the sort of man that doesn't choose discipline as optional or some of the time. You need to be the man who is disciplined and gets everything boxed off as non-negotiable. So you do everything you need to do to move forward under any circumstance. When you build that identity, and it will take some time and it will take a lot of effort and it won't be easy, but fat loss and staying lean becomes automatic. It's so much easier for you to do. It's like clockwork. One thing I've learned after my couple of years of coaching is that most men, they don't struggle with information. They actually know what to do, or they claim they know what to do. They struggle with execution. They struggle with actually doing what they need to do to move forward and actually stay there in the long run. But here's the thing, knowing and executing are two completely different things. Like, you need to build a system that fits your life. So you may know what to do for someone else, but for someone who's maybe shorter on time, maybe you've got a kid, maybe you work 50, 60 hours a week, you need to figure out what works for you. This is why you keep losing the weight and regaining it, because you're following a system that wasn't designed for you and your preferences and your lifestyle. And if it wasn't designed for you, it's never going to work for you. You fail because you built a temporary routine, not a lifestyle that you can look at and think, yeah, I can stick to that. I'll be happy to do that for years and years. That's what you need to guarantee success in the long run. You need a plan that you can look at, that you think, yep, I'm happy to do that for years and years, on repeat, without missing a beat. Now, if you're striving to get to that elite lifestyle shape, we're talking 12 to 15% body fat, visible abs, looking athletic, incredibly lean, you're going to be confident all year round. Now, if you want to get into that elite lifestyle shape, you're looking at getting down to 12 to 15% body fat. So you've got visible abs, you're incredibly lean, you look athletic. It's not about following anything that's extreme or that's going to push you way outside of your comfort zone, but it is structured. You need to remember that you can't out-train bad sleep and you can't outwork bad habits or wing it forever. Lean fellas don't do anything mad, they don't do anything crazy, they just have a plan that they can stick to indefinitely. And they also don't turn their discipline off in the weekends. They're structured and they stick to it. If you're a busy man and you are sick and tired of losing the weight and regaining that weight and starting over every Monday or maybe starting over every January at the start of New Year, stop chasing intensity in short bursts. Build structure that fits you, that's going to allow you to be consistent for years to come. If you want help building a system that fits around your life, your family and your job, DM me on Instagram at FitWithMackie. DM me the word FIT, F-I-T, and I'll show you exactly how I can help you out. So that's going to wrap up the video, people. If you found it useful, don't forget to drop me a like, don't forget to drop me a comment with any questions, drop me a sub, and I will catch you in the next one.